page 16, at the foot of the page, Medicare24 investigation, attempts to link General Masamola and further attempts to arrest General Kumalo. And then the subheading is the irregular section 28(1) authorization.
Thank you. Paragraph 35. As previously stated, the Medicare24 matter was referred to by Advocate Johnson as the SAPS contract and visa contract. I do not know why. I only became aware on the 13th of May 2025 that the SAPS contract and visa contract was in fact the Medicare24 matter. When I was asked to assist with checking the application for a 28(1) authorization prepared by another prosecutor, as stated earlier, Advocate Johnson had mentioned the SAPS contract and visa contract from 22 January 2025 after her meeting with Minister Mkhunu. Paragraph 36. In any event, at the meeting of the 24th of April.
It's 16
It's
April.
16 April.
So 24 must change to 16. You may continue.
Mr. Perumal had informed Advocate Johnson that Advocate Shabalala had already drafted a Section 28(1) authorization application for the Medicare24 matter, which was with a DPP in charge of supervising Advocate Shabalala. Advocate Johnson was very agitated and told Mr. Perumal that he had no idea what he had just done and that it should never have been done that way. She said that she did not even give Advocate Shabalala that matter, which I also later reflect in an email exchange of 13 to 16 May 2025. At the time, I did not understand Advocate Johnson's agitation because I had not been involved in the matter. However, when Advocate Johnson instructed me on the 13th of May 2025 to assist in finalizing the application for Section 28(1) authorization, I immediately appreciated the gravity of the situation. There was no Section 27 referral affidavit in existence at the time. Mr. Perumal had instructed Advocate Shabalala to prepare the application without a referral.
285. It's an email from Advocate Johnson on the 13th of May, 2025 to you, Mr. Perumal, and she CCs Mr. Sesoko, the PA, and she says SAPS Tembisa Hospital tender. You can read it.
Drew, you guys sent me a Section 28 application for this matter that Telas drew up. I need you to look at it urgently and then submit. General McLeod contacted me and I want to authorize by Thursday. Check the designations, etc., and send a hard copy to Ino. Kindly remove Telas, Paul, etc. from the designation. Add Santos as the advocate as well as he will oversee when I am unable to attend to things. Drew, I also need another advocate to help you. I was thinking of Joy. If you agree, then add her and I will speak to her. She will get it to me where I am tomorrow, meaning the hard copy.
And then you respond at the top of that page at 12:35.
Morning, Advocate Johnson. I will obtain the same from Tilas. I have not had sight of the documents Tilas submitted. Once I have, I will attend to the necessary and submit. I have not worked or interacted much with Joy. A second prosecutor would be much appreciated due to the volume. Thank you.
Okay, then if we can go to file 10-2, page 602. Just let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
This is the communication between you and Advocate Shabalala on the 13th of May, 2025. And we're looking at the voice call at 12:35.
Correct.
That's where you now contact him to get information regarding the 28.
Correct.
Okay. And he's not answering your call. He called you back, and then you send a message to him.
Yeah, he called back to say that he's in court. So I sent him a message. Hey, hi, Shabs. What documents did you base your 28 application on? Or rather, where did you get the information on suspects or information from? He then calls back. He says to me that he had gotten it from either Sunil or Mr. Beluchan or Mr. Perumal. And he then forwards me the SAPS preliminary audit report, 94 TP, 30 Jan 2025.
Okay. And then in between you calling him and him returning your call and forwarding the report, you try to get the report from somebody else. And that we find on 263 of file 10-1. So at the bottom of that page, 263. Can you just explain?
Yeah, because I couldn't get the 28-1 documents, draft documents that he had submitted, I contacted the project manager that is allocated to Advocate Low's team, Ms. Modiba, and I asked her for the authorization, the new authorization sent by Tilas, and then she sent it to me.
Okay, and the subject there is Tembisa, new authorization. Good day for your attention. If we go to 264, you'll see the attachments. It's an application in terms of section 28.1, a section 28 authorization, Vusi Musi Matlala, and a section 28 designation, Vusi Musi Matlala.
Correct.
Okay. And you, at the top of that page, you send it to Advocate Johnson.
Correct.
At 2:05.
Good afternoon, Advocate Johnson. Attached is the application drafted by Advocate Chabalala. Kind regards.
Then if we go to page 281, because there was quite a bit of activity on the 13th of May. At the bottom of 281, you hadn't yet sent the application to Advocate Johnson. You sent it at around 2 o'clock.
Correct.
But you had said to her that you'll try and get the information from Tillis. She responds to your 12:35 email, and she says to you at 1:44, if you can just read that.
Subject, R.E. SAPS Tembisa Hospital tender. Drew, ask Chief to give it to you. I don't want Tilas wondering why we are now taking the matter. I never assigned him in the first place.
And this is in reference to the fact that at the meeting of the 16th of April, she was agitated that Mr. Perumal had gone ahead with the 28-1 and gone to Advocate Low without her involvement.
Correct.
Okay. And she says, I never assigned him in the first place.
Correct.
Okay. Then she tells you to go to the chief, but you had already approached the chief before she told you to go to chief. That we'll find on 604, which is in part 2 of 10.
Correct. There's a voice call between Mr. Perumal and myself, and then at 13:08, hi Dee, what docs did you give to Shabs to draft the 28 for the hospital? Need to confirm the submissions. He is currently busy and isn't responding. Please send to me. I know you are in consultation, so when you are able to, thanks. He replies, hi, don't know what he would have used to compile it. Okay, we'll wait for him to reply, meaning I'll wait for Advocate Chabalala to reply.
So Mr. Perumal is saying he doesn't know what Advocate Chabalala had used to compile the 28-1 application for authorization. Yet he was the one that asked Advocate Chabalala to do the authorization.
Correct, and when I had this conversation with Advocate Chabalala, he said he had all the proof to show that who sent it and whatever, but Mr. Perumal is denying it.
Okay, if we then go to page 281 of 10-1, this is now at 1350.
Advocate Johnson, I have asked Dylan for the documents that Tilas used as a basis for the application. He indicated he does not know what Tilas used as a basis for identifying suspects as listed, as well as the information on the committees contained in the 28. I obtained the 28 from Obusha as Tilas was unable to take my call. I need that information to confirm the Vermont's allegations to be authorized.
And then on page 280, Advocate Johnson responds to your email.
Colleagues, this is what happens when we involve people without the ID. I heard from this team that he had drawn up an application, and hence my remarks about why and on whose instruction. Please send me what he drafted and then ask him via email to send you the basis for his application.
And so Advocate Johnson is now saying this is now what happens when you guys don't involve the ID, again with reference to what happened in the meeting of 16 April, her
Correct.
not being involved in that process. We know then that you say to her that you did get the document, the report, and you ask her for the code. So if you can go to page 452, you can just explain to us 452, which is part 2 of 10. This is still on the 13th at 14:25 from you to Dylan, ceasing Advocate Johnson, Mr. Sesoko, and the PA, documents from Drew.
$14.25.
Yes.
Afternoon, Dylan. I received General Matlow's report via WhatsApp from Tilas. It is encrypted and he can't remember the password. He indicated if memory serves, he got the documents from Sunil.
And that's Mr. Belochan.
Correct. Please assist with the password so that I can urgently peruse the report and submit timelessly to the ID. Your assistance is appreciated. Thank you.
Then if we go to 454, we'll see the encrypted document there, file details, SAP's preliminary audit report, 94 TP, 30 Jan 2025, encrypted 2212 final.pdf.
Correct.
Okay, and then on page 455, Advocate Johnson responds to your email.
The password is?
Yes, and then she says,
I also want a copy of this report with the application.
okay. So you then now have the draft applications and you have the report.
Yes.
You still don't have a Section 27 affidavit.
No.
What does the report reveal? And what is the report? So it says preliminary report 30 January 2025. That's what it's saved as.
It is, so from the mandate, which is the first page, it indicates that it's an,
Can we go to it? Is it not much easier to go to it on file 10, page 301? Is that not the one?
Page?
File 10, page 301. So if you look at the date on
Correct.
306,
Yes, that's
it
the one.
should be the one.
yes, correct. So it indicates that risk management was a request to conduct an audit by internal audit and risk management was submitted by the Minister of Police through the National Commissioner on the 9th of January 2025. The internal audit and risk management performed a joint audit in respect of the bid. It does relate to quite a few irregularities and
Yes.
persons of interest. I don't feel comfortable.
No, that's fine. That's why I
going
didn't want to.
into the details of the report.
No, that's fine. I don't want you to deal with the details. That's why I just wanted to ask you from memory what you recalled about it. But if you go to page 306, there are signatures there, and General Matlow is one of the signatories.
Correct.
Okay. So you have the report now, and you've got the applications. You finalized the application.
I didn't amend anything. I read through the report, I read through the application that was drafted by Advocate Chabalala. It's fairly comprehensive. I followed the instructions of the ID and changed the names of the persons to be designated on the matter. I also sent her a WhatsApp to confirm that the designated people need to be the same as Project Diversion. She confirmed and she indicated I must add Mr. Mbalo and Mr. Belochan.
Okay. Now, did you email the application to her? Or?
If we take note of the first email she sends to me, she says that a hard copy must be delivered to Ino, and Ino would get it to her wherever she is. So I did deliver the hard copy to Ino, and I think on the 16th of May, Ino sends scans the signed copy of the 28-1 and sends it back to the team.
Is that
Okay.
the one on 287? 287, is
Yes,
that the one?
that's the one, yeah. But I just wanted to confirm you didn't actually email the application to her. It was delivered to Ino.
Correct, it was hand-delivered to Ino.
And Ino then sends that on page 287. And if we go to the document, so 288 shows the attachment. And then on page 289. Now, can I just ask you, why was this a 28-1 and not a 28-13?
Like I said, I didn't change anything. I submitted it as Advocate Chabalala had drafted it. I only amended the designation. So I only made changes to page 6 of 7.
Page 6 of 7. Okay. Before we get to page 6 of 7, in the correspondence, there was a reference to, I don't know, where did he get the name of the suspects? Was that in the report or already in the application?
Yes, correct. The report did link the names as mentioned here.
So the suspects mentioned in the document was reflected in the report?
Correct.
Now, importantly,
Sorry, about this, maybe it's important for accuracy, even if you don't read out the names, to mention the context in which they appear. So, for example, you have people listed under the bid evaluation committee, and their names appear there. Some of them are amongst the ones charged, and I think if the report doesn't make any specific allegations of criminality against them or of irregularity against specific individuals, I think it's in fairness to those individuals that you should say in what context they appear in the report.
okay, can I deal with it when we get to the end of the report? Because what I want to deal with first is the designated individuals. And I want to highlight one name in particular, and that is on page 294 at paragraph 30. It is submitted that the following persons be designated to conduct the investigation. And at number 11, you see Major General Matlo.
Correct.
Now, Major General Matlo, in the meeting of 16 April, you are told she is the Section 27 referral.
Correct.
And General Matlo is not part of IDAC.
No.
She's part of SAPS.
Correct. Risk management.
Why was General Matlo included as being part of the investigation? Do you know?
I did make queries about this with the investigators at one of the meetings because I wanted to know how do we...
We can't hear you.
Sorry, how do we designate the complainant in an investigation? Because obviously she's going to be the A1 and now she's part and parcel of the investigation as well. And the other issue that I had was, where's the documents for duty reassignment? If we are designating a member of another unit, you still have to have correspondence between their supervisors. So it would have been either Mr. Sissoko or Advocate Johnson, and I think it's NASCOM that risk management reports directly to. So there would have been an agreement and formal communication of duty reassignment, even if it was just for that aspect. Because we've had it before. In fact, we still have it at the moment. I'm dealing with one of those matters where we have communication of duty reassignment. So one of my questions was, why is General Matlo the complainant part of the investigation, and where's the documentation of duty reassignment? And I was told that the ID authorized it, but it wasn't so politely put to me.
Now, at this stage,
So it's an irregularity. You're saying that you would have, well, there's the obvious point about you would have a complainant being part of the investigating team, but more importantly, you're speaking to an irregularity about the duty assignment authorizations.
Correct.
There wasn't a record of that.
Correct. If I can give you just a small example. So there's an investigation that I'm working on with another DD at the moment. And even though the A1 is in fact the investigating officer, because he had started the investigation based on the Zondo Commission recommendation. So he is the A1, he's the complainant, so to speak. But he is from DPCI, and in the docket itself, we've got in the B clip his duty reassignment documents.
and you say on this one, you haven't seen that duty reassignment, you haven't seen anything other than the 28?
Correct. I've only seen the 28 one, and I've seen the preliminary reports, the encrypted report.
Okay, then we can go to page 292. And I'll just ask Commissioner Baloyi for guidance here on this aspect insofar as the suspects are concerned, the issue you raised.
So what I wanted to be careful about is that we don't create the impression that the report has fingered specific people, linking them to specific misconduct. So if you look at, let me go to that page. If you go to a page that lists committees, 311, thank you. So if you go to that page in the report at 311, it lists different committees and tells you who are those people in the committees. And insofar as it doesn't allege, there's no misconduct, irregularity, criminal conduct alleged against a person, but the only link we can make from the report is that they sat in a committee. I would rather you point that out.
Yes, I wasn't going to deal with the suspects. It wasn't part of the 28-1.
Okay.
My focus was on the designation, the investigators,
Okay.
what was being investigated, why was the complainant included as being part of the investigation, and whether there was any authorization for that, what did we need in order for that to be, that
Okay.
was the...
That's your focus.
Yes, that's
Okay.
why I didn't deal with the report either.
Okay.
Just
I
the
guess-
issue of the report was just that it was sent to you when you were told that the report is the 27, is part of the 27 referral. Correct.
Okay. No, I'm happy with that. I was just concerned when she said I'm uncomfortable to list people's names. Okay.
But just to, the report says the bid was not properly evaluated. So to the extent that there are issues with the bid evaluation committee, all the report says is that the bid was not properly evaluated, and it doesn't allege criminality.
That's why I wanted to establish the extent of this witness's involvement with that. And as I understood her to say, she didn't change anything on the authorizations. She wasn't really involved in in assessing the merits of the application. You were just finalizing it for submission.
Correct.
Okay, because the names were there. You didn't check whether the names should be there or should not be there. That's why you asked, where did you get the names?
Correct.
Okay. Now, at this stage, you still haven't seen a 27, a Section 27 affidavit.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
If we can go to page 544, which is file 3. Do you have it? It's the transcript of Advocate Johnson's evidence before the ad hoc committee.
I'm here.
And at 544, it starts at the top by Advocate Arendse. Do you want to comment on the subheading IDAC investigations into Mr. Vusi Musi Kat Matlala? Advocate Johnson says, IDAC received a Section 27 referral from SAP's Risk Audit Division, and this is not the first time we would have received referrals or work with the Risk Audit Division. There are many matters currently in IDAC where one is looking at corruption, the PFMA contraventions, and fraud related to the supply chain. And then if you skip the next two paragraphs, it's Advocate Johnson again. The first and only time that we are looking into allegations against Mr. Matlala relates to the 360 million rand tender that was awarded and then subsequently cancelled sometime this year. So there have not been criminal investigations into him as a service provider. We have criminal investigations against SAPS members and other service providers where the supply chain management processes are circumvented and corruption or fraud or PFMA contraventions took place. In February of this year, this would have been 2025 because she gave evidence in 2025, is the first time that we got a referral that relates to Mr. Matlala as a potential suspect, either in fraud, corruption, or together with other SAPS officials' contraventions of the PFMA. We received the referral on the 16th of February 2025, and then through the media, as we paid attention, we found out that Mr. Matlala had been arrested and his phones were seized. Now, do you know of a 16 February 2025 referral?
No.
And then at page 546, Advocate Arendse asks, now this referral on the 16th of February this year, where did this referral come from within SAPS? Advocate Johnson, the head of their risk audit referred the matter to IDAC in terms of Section 27 referral, deposed to an affidavit, attached supporting documents, and the matter came over to IDAC. And then he says, when would you first become involved in this referral, if at all? And Advocate Johnson then says, when matters are referred, they almost invariably come through one of the chief criminal investigators, more so through the head of investigations and operations, Mr. Matthews Sesoko. They would receive the matters and go through the matter at a cursory perusal to see whether or not it is a matter that IDAC can take. They then compile an application, which we call a Section 28 application, for the ID to consider whether or not to authorize an investigation. That is the first time I become involved in applying my mind to the matter. Here, the matter was then authorized. When it is authorized, investigators and prosecutors are designated to conduct the investigation of these matters, as it is a prosecution-led methodology. But the investigators and the prosecuting team go through determining what task, activities, line of investigation should be followed. It is not for the ID. Then he says, so there would first, Advocate Arendse, so there would first be what sounds like a preliminary investigation that you would authorize. And she then says there are two types of investigations. Usually we get the Section 27 referrals. Now, Advocate Johnson seems to say here that on the 16th, because it's directly in response to Advocate Arendse asking her about the 16 February 2025 referral at 546, she says, the head of their risk audit referred the matter to IDAC in terms of Section 27 referral, deposed to an affidavit, attached supporting documents, and the matter came over to IDAC. And this is in response to a direct question about now this referral on the 16th of February this year. Where did this referral come from within SAPS? Was Advocate Johnson, have you seen a 16 February 2025 referral?
No, and even on the 13th of May, there was no 27 referral. There was just the report that was bouncing between IDAC employees via WhatsApp. And if we take note of the email of Advocate Johnson on the 13th of May, it says, I was contacted by General Matlo, and I want to authorize.
And then you can go to page 3519 or file 9, where there is an affidavit by General Matlo. It's file 9. 3519.
I'm there.
This is an affidavit at 3519 by General Matlo. And if we go to page 3521, on the 6th of June, it's signed, commissioned on the 6th of June, 2025 at Pretoria. Do you see that?
I do.
And this was referred to as the Section 27 referral during Advocate Johnson's evidence.
How can it be a 27 referral if the authorization is done on the 16th or signed on the 16th of May? The Act says 27 referral and then authorization. So if they're saying the 6th of June is the referral, then they were working backwards.
And if you look at the affidavit, the contents of the affidavit, at paragraph 3.
Okay, I've got it in front of me, yes. Paragraph 3.
I hereby submit this affidavit to the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption in support of initiating a criminal investigation into the alleged unlawful awarding of a tender to Medicare24 Tshwane District Pty Limited to provide medical health care services to the SAPS for a period of 3 years. The monetary value of the tender was approximately 360 million rand. So this is the affidavit where she says she wants the investigation to be initiated.
Correct. If we just go a little bit further down, it says something about a final report will be provided. A comprehensive internal audit report is currently being complied.
What paragraph?
Paragraph 5, which will shed light, further light on the alleged criminal misconduct. This is where the fight between myself and the investigators started. Because way before this, in May already, I'm asking how can we be investigating something where a report has been requested, an internal report has been requested by the NASCOM, and the final report is not submitted. So how are we authorizing an investigation where we don't have a final report? It didn't make sense to me, and that was the start of a lot of problems.
And when was the first time you saw this affidavit?
When it was flighted at the commission.
when it was during Advocate Johnson's
Johnson's
evidence?
testimony, correct?
Okay.
Is it not odd that according to Advocate Johnson, the referral was made in February, but the Section 28s were only being done on the 15th of May? So that's 3 months later. Now, if you follow the sequence according to her evidence, it first goes to Mr. Sissoko, and then there's an application to her, and then she authorizes in terms of Section 28. So how does one explain that 3-year gap from the date when she says 3 months, 3 months gap from when she says the referral was made to the 15th of May when you are discussing with Advocate Chabalala the Section 28?
Commissioner Khumalo, I'm going to say it again, although I got into trouble for saying it last week. When there's cover-ups happening, timelines and rational decisions cannot be explained. So because from the timeline here, how do you explain anything? It's basically them trying to cover up, but very poorly so. It's just my observation and from dealing with these things for so long.
And then there's another affidavit by General Matlo that I'd like to refer you to at page 3534.
File 9.
Before that, even if it's just for the record, so at least from what we have seen in the ad hoc committee transcript and this affidavit now and the WhatsApp exchanges and email exchanges, we can say that Advocate Johnson did not tell the truth in Parliament to the ad hoc committee when she said you received the Section 27 referral on the 16th of February 2025. That was an outright lie, looking at these documents.
Correct.
Thank you.
Sorry, which page, Advocacy?
It was 3519, I think, that's it?
3519.
3534, sorry.
3534. Yes.
This is a A2 statement, and I'm not clear on when this was done, because if you look at 3536, where do you see the 26?
184-page affidavits. So the last
Yeah,
page
at the
is
last page.
3817.
Because what happens is she verbatim quotes from a report. So we'll get to that. But in this affidavit on page 3534, at paragraph 3, General Matlo says, on 9 January 2025, Internal Audit, Risk and Integrity Management received a request from Minister of Police to investigate the alleged procurement irregularities on appointment of the service provider to render health risk management services for SAPS at the Division Supply Chain Management. And then it says Appendix 1, copy of email request for investigation from the Chief of Staff and mandate. I led the investigation team to conduct an investigation into these allegations. So that is in 9 January 2025. Were you aware when General Matlo's name was mentioned or regarding the Medicare 24 that the investigation that she undertook was at the request of the Minister in January 2025?
No, my understanding was that it was NASCOM that asked for the investigation.
You understand it was the National Commissioner?
Correct.
That had asked for the investigation, not the Minister?
No, not the Minister.
Okay.
I understood it from the meeting that we'll discuss now. I understood it to be that the Minister spoke to the National Commissioner Masumula, and Masumula then requested the report.
Yeah, that's what you were told. Okay.
And that's what the interim report says.
Yes.